Tonight, a major sign of improvement despite rain from the remnants of Beta. The storm is now accelerating as it moves across southeast Texas, so swollen bayous around town are getting a chance to drain.
Are cleaning up the mess after floodwater got into their homes tonight. And two heroes rushed to save a woman who drove into high water this morning. She's been able to thank one of them, but is looking for the other person who helped save her life.
We have live team coverage on all of that and more coming up. But first, we want to get right to David Paul.
And David, will we get through tonight without any more flooding?
We have had significant improvement on the bayous that had flash flooding last night. Bray, Sims, Clear Creek on the south side and also across downtown Buffalo Bayou all have been falling. They've not had heavy rain so far across the southern portion of Harris County. It's been North Harris County this evening that has had the heaviest of the rain. There are a lot of high water spots on roadways from Cypress to Klein to Spring to Atascocita, Kingwood and the Woodlands. But even now that line of showers is lifting north. It's not sitting on you up here. There is another line beginning to build in some light to moderate rain on the south side. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to be okay. Now, that being said, up here in northwest Harris County, Spring Creek, you've had 3 to 5 inches of rain up here just this evening, and Spring Creek is very high at 290, at Huffmeister, at Grant. It's 2, 3, 4 feet below bank full. The rain up here is beginning to let up, and so Cypress Creek, White Oak Bayou, I know you're near bank full, but it looks like the rain's letting up, and I'm cautiously optimistic it will stay below bank full on Upper Cypress and Upper White Oak, although it is quite full right now. And you can see the big picture. Here's our low pressure area. It is accelerating now off to the east, and once we can get that a little further east, we're going to rapidly reduce the flash flooding threat across Houston, Harris County, and southeast Texas, but that's going to take a few more hours to work its way on off to the east. So this evening we continue with a flash flood threat through the evening and overnight. Tomorrow a little rain in the morning, then a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. Won't that be a sight for sore eyes? We'll go over rain totals for tonight and the weekend forecast coming up.
All right, see you in a bit. Thank you, Dave. Heads up, if you use Highway 288 for your commute, it will remain closed until at least tomorrow afternoon. You can see from the video on the left, the main lanes were completely flooded today. Mayor Turner announced the floodwater washed away some of the markings on the highway, so they'll have to be restriped.
Here's a look at how high the water got out of Buffalo Bayou. This is the bayou near Woodway and 610. That's the Omni Hotel right there. You can see the water flooded a construction area right next to the hotel. This is one of the bayous that causes a lot of problems whenever we get heavy rainstorms.
So let's turn to Matt Doherty live near downtown Houston with what it looks like tonight, Matt.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it earlier. Where would be the best place to close out the night that could kind of tell the story of what happened today? And we decided it would be here just outside of downtown on the Sabine Street Bridge, where you can see Buffalo Bayou is full beneath us, and it's much more full than we would see it on a regular basis. However, it does show that Houston's Bayou system actually is working and did work today, even though things were very rough earlier on. It does appear that it is taking all of that water at a steady clip out of the city and down into Galveston Bay. So once again, you know, it is still within its banks. It is very full down here outside of downtown, but everything does appear to be working just as it should. Of course, we're going to continue to keep an eye on things, and hopefully they'll go as smoothly as they are right now. Back to you.
We like the good news. Thank you, Matt. Some folks in Meyerland are crediting the widening of Bray's Bayou and the new bridges with helping keep the water down in their neighborhood today. Meyerland, as you know, flooded 3 times over a 2.5-year span, most recently during Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says Project Braze has been moving at record speed since then. Heading further south to Pearland, where Clear Creek runs through. Look at the shot from drone 11. Shows how high the water got there. At least one resident was helped out of the neighborhood by boat. Public Works crews had to set up barriers to prevent people from driving into high water there.
While most of the area got lucky, some homeowners did flood and are now waiting for the water to recede so they can start cleaning up. Grace White is live off the South Beltway in Monroe. What's it like out there tonight, Grace?
Well, it just started raining again out here, guys. We're in the back of this neighborhood where some streets are still hard to get to because of the high water. But the bigger problem tonight, the flooding happening inside some of these homes.
When the water breached the door, the first place that we noticed that it came in was in here inside of the pool room.
When Patricia Sheets moved into her home on Coastway Lane, she never wanted to be this close to the water.
Within about 15 minutes, it was up to 5 inches of water inside the house.
That was around 8 a.m. and the rain just kept coming.
In here, this is the game room, and as you can see, it's still very much wet.
She says they tried packing up as much as they could and moving things higher.
And the room that had the most water, I would say, would definitely be our bedroom.
But much of the damage was already done.
And as you can see, it's still got a lot of ponding in here.
She was not in this home for Harvey, but she says neighbors have told her it's an area that frequently floods. Still, nothing prepared her for this.
For me, it was my first time ever experiencing a flood like this. So it was very emotional for me. Honestly, I cried because I couldn't believe it was happening.
Well, we had a break for a few hours from the rain, but again, it just started up again. Neighbors say they hope the water will recede tonight so they can start the cleanup tomorrow morning. Mia, back to you.
Such a tough predicament. Grace White reporting. Thank you. Parts of Memorial Drive were underwater earlier, and as he checked out reports of a submerged vehicle, a frustrated police chief, Art Acevedo, took to the live streaming app Periscope.
But I just want to make sure people see that more heavy rain's coming. Stay off the roads, and for God's sakes, keep an eye out. And when you see water in the roadway, especially in an underpass like this, you don't cross it. That's going to be a total probably. That car is no good. So more rain's coming. Back up! Here comes another genius that wants to drive through. I gotta go. I gotta deal with this.
It is terrifying when you drive into high water and you do not see it coming. Aniela Ruiz talked to one woman who did that this morning and another woman who saved her life. Aniela?
Well, Haylen, the woman was driving here along Hempstead Road. She said it was a rainy morning and didn't notice that the underpass here behind me had accumulated water. But she said, luckily, two Good Samaritans jumped into action. And without them, she probably would not be alive today.
Iba bien, yo no vi nada.
Melba Reyes says she was driving to work when she reached this underpass here on Hempstead Road near Old Katy Road.
Todo el agua estaba dentro de mi carro.
And within seconds of driving through the underpass, her car was underwater. She said she felt like she was going to die. Luckily, a Good Samaritan driving by saw everything unfold.
And as I watched her car go down, 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 I knew that she needed to be rescued.
Lauren immediately jumped out of her car, called 911, and tried to get help.
She honked her horn over and over and over as her cry for help.
Lauren was with her two small kids, but she was able to flag down a man to help her out.
When he got to her car, when he had finally pulled her out, which I believe was through the back window, they had to swim to get out.
Melba was crying unconsolably,
The water.
but grateful someone stopped to help.
And I was saying, thank you so much, sir. You really saved my life. And I was keeping saying the same thing.
Melba feels like she had angels watching over her and hopes that others learn from her mistake.
I think without them, I'd be dead maybe.
Well, Melba's car was a total loss. Her liability insurance will not be covering that. But despite that, she says she's very grateful to be alive today. And she hopes to be reunited with the man that helped save her from the vehicle. You saw him in the picture there in the video earlier. She said she wasn't able to get his name or number, but she hopes that through our story, she can reconnect with him. Len?
Always amazing to see folks jumping in to help people out in times of need. Aniela, thank you. Tow truck drivers have been awfully busy removing stalled out vehicles from the roadways today. If your car was towed in the city of Houston, there are a couple of ways you can find it. You can either go online to findmytowedcar.com or call 713-308-8580. If your car was towed in Harris County, you should call 713-755-6042. To find towed vehicles in Galveston and Brazoria counties, you'll need to call the Sheriff's Office. We have all that information on KHOU.com.
Also on our website, school plans for tomorrow and the full list of school district closures. Some districts will keep campuses closed and have all students and teachers hold classes virtually. Look for the information on our homepage. You can track the rain in your neighborhood on our KHOU 11 app. You can also text the word storm to 713-526-1111, and we'll send you a link to keep tabs on any high water spots on the road.